generating metadata, and saving it to metadata CSV file, proposing deals and generating a final CSV, which contains additional information for the provider to import deals. And finally, synchronizing tasks on the Swan platform. To install the Swan client tool, you can use either pre-built packages or source code. First, let me show you the pre-built packages option. Run this command in the terminal. Voila, the Swan client tool is all set. Next, let's take a look at the source code option. Run the git command in the terminal. And run the cd go swan client command. Then type git space branch hyphen and letter A. Run the git checkout demand with the released branch v010rc. Now run the sh command. Please be patient while the command is running. The Swan client tool is installed successfully, almost. Now we need to run the cd build command. Now all set, the installation is complete. After the installation is complete, we need to configure the Swan client tool. All the configuration data are here. Lotus, main, web server, IP server, and sender. You could configure your Swan client tool as needed. Type : and letter Q to complete configuration. Now, I'll show you how to create and send a public manual task. Run the configuration demand. Configure the Swan client tool as need. In my case, I'm in the public manual bid mode, so I don't need to change anything. Now press : W and Q. To create a task, run the command with input file directory and car file output directory. Now we can see the car files have been created. Following, we need to upload car files. To upload it to a local IPFS server. Run the demand with input file directory. Here is the metadata JSON file path. Type cat to run the metadata JSON file path. Here is the metadata CSV file. Type cat to run the metadata CSV file path. Now, let's create a public manual bid task. Run this command with car files directory, output files directory, and description lotus task. The task is created successfully. To send the deal manually, run the command with file name, output file directory, and miner ID. The deal is sent successfully. Now log into your account, click My Task on the left navibar. Choose the task you've sent, click to view more task details. Next, we'll see how to create car files by GraphSplit API. Run the configuration command. Configure your Swan client tool here. In my case, I don't need to change anything. Type : letter W and Q to complete the configuration. Run the command with input files directory and car files output directory. Run the command to split files. To upload car files to a local IPS server, run the command with input file directory. Now the metadata JSON file is generated. Type cat to run the command. Now scroll up, find, and copy the metadata CSV file. Type cat to run it. Run the command with car files directory, output file directory, and description split task. Now the task is split. To send a manual deal, run the command with task name, metadata JSON, output files directory, and miner ID. Next, let's have a look at how to create car files by IPFS API. Run the command with input file directory and output file directory. Now the IPS car file path is created. To upload it to a local IPFS server, run the command with the input file directory. To create a public and manual bid task, run the demand with input file directory, output file directory, and description split task. We can see here the task is created successfully, and a metadata JSON file is generated. To send a manual deal, run the command with task name, metadata JSON files, output files directory, and miner ID. We can see here, the deal has been sent. Next, I'll show you how to create a public auto bid task. First, we need to configure the Swan client tool. The bid mode is 1, public deal, true. It means we're in a public auto bid mode. Type colon and letter Q. Run the command with input files directory, output file directory, and description Lotus task. To send an auto bid deal, run the command with output file directory. Once it's done, let's log into your account to check the task status. We can see the task is assigned. Next, run the command with output file directory. As shown, a task has been sent. Finally, let me show you how to create private tasks. In this option, deals will be sent automatically while you create a task. We still need to configure the tool first. Edit the configurate data to make sure you're in the private task mode. Type colon and letter Q. Run the command with input file directory, output file directory, miner ID, and description private task. Double check if the status is success. That's it, all set now. This is all about how to install and use our Swan client tool. Thank you for watching.